Welcome to the new Bella Buono. Our project to bring the high-class, cheap accommodation to the area is complete, and people have started moving in. Thank you to all our wonderful architects. Your work has allowed me to make lots of money. Come live in Lake Windermere in our beautiful high-rise flats. As you can see, we have many beautiful apartments to buy with the lovely amenities like a coffee shop and laundrette, as well as beautiful views of Winderland. Now then, let's look at some of your designs.
Evening. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Winder, and this is Winder TV, and tonight we're doing episode 7 of the 2-week challenge. Here we are, your beautiful apartments, ready, waiting for people to move into them. We're going to have a look in a bit more depth, but I need to introduce someone to you now. I had to get someone in because actually this park has turned into something a lot bigger than I thought it was ever going to be. And the building from everybody has just been of another, a new level, absolutely incredible. And I thought, who better to have a look at it in depth than the architect himself, Mr. Moomin, Littlesocks. Are you there, sir?
I think so.
Ah, listen to that voice. Oh. Yeah, what's your first impressions of it, mate? What's your first impressions of these pretty buildings?
Well, I mean, excuse me, where to even begin? I mean, it just looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. It's like you can tell each one is from a different creator, but somehow they're all, and I'm going to say the word, it's all very cohesive. He
said it.
I said the word. No, they blend together perfectly. And with the rest of the park, not even like the individual buildings with each other, but in the park, it sits so nicely.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit worried about it at the end, at the beginning, because I was thinking, right, I've just told people to make me a 5-story building. They could build anything. I mean, some people have. We'll go in depth in a minute. But I didn't think they would look good together. I really worried about it. It took me a bit of time. I had to rework the area, put in some paving and stuff like that to make it all work. But I think the overall outcome has been quite nice. It's really
it
good.
looks effortless. Which I'm sure it wasn't on your part, but it looks effortless.
Let me just give you a brief on this. So our builders, could have been anyone was welcome to join this. They were given a 400-piece limit. It had to be a blueprint, it had to be 5 to 8 stories high, and it had to have a maximum footprint of like 3x4 meters, so 12 meters squared. And that was literally all I gave them. So the fact that we've got something that works actually really nicely together is quite amazing. So this was the first submission.
Go on, say the word, Winder. Say the word.
Something, I mean, it's quite cohesive, isn't it?
It's quite cohesive, isn't it?
These were the first 2 submissions, Mollo and RC Fan. And we got, I've put these 2 close together to really do good camera work here. So this one, it's very, very square, which is nice, but I like all the little balconies that he's put in. It's very uniform all the way up as well, which is what you kind of expect. And right next to this one, I kind of put it on a little bit of a road here with a crossing.
How adorable.
They're pretty, aren't they?
The first thing that stood out to me is how neat, because you were saying about how uniform Molo's, is it Molo's one with the blue trim?
Yeah.
It's very, very neat, and that's something that I like to focus on when I'm building, is that nothing's out of place. There's no bits kind of jutting out. There's no Z fighting that you can see between assets. Like, no, it's just very tidy and very neat.
I like the blue and the red and the white together. It's quite British.
What are the pieces used for the trim on the edge?
This one?
Yeah.
Mouse hunt hoarding.
Oh, clever.
That's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, because they are very good pieces, but they're on the grid, I believe, so they're really difficult to use. So
I don't think I've ever used them.
That's a very good use of those.
Oh yeah, they're on the grid. Oh, and they're really tall, aren't they?
Yeah, they're basically hydro beams, but on a grid.
But yeah, no, that's really nice. Really good use of them.
And equally, the second build, again, very, very neat. Everything's in its place, and I love the modern design of it.
I like it that it's quite like, it's got lots of different dimensions to it, ins and outs, which is really, really cute. It's nice. Very, as you said, very modern. I like it.
Yeah, it's always good to avoid a boxy build, as I always say.
Yeah.
Even in the minor trims on the side to the major extrusions on the balconies.
Yeah. It's awesome. Very, very cool buildings. And I like it that it's effectively one-sided, and this is exactly how you would have an apartment building. You'd have all of your corridors and stairwells at the back, wouldn't you? You wouldn't need lights at all the windows on it, which is so it works really, really nicely. It's well thought out. Two lovely builds there, and it even put some little trees in there. These came with the build. What's this? We've got a little intercom on there.
That's snazzy, isn't it?
PKA meter.
Is that a Ghostbusters?
Is it? I don't know. I haven't used the Ghostbusters pack at all.
No, I never used that piece. But yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I think it's a Ghostbusters thing.
Well, there you go.
Fancy.
Very fancy. The next couple we had were these two here, which are the two tallest buildings. And we got Relly Towers, which is on the left here. And then we got the Dis Apartments from Dis the Destroyer, who built our lovely hotel, which we'll have a look at later. And again, these two are these were like the statement ones. They were very, very high, so I thought I'll stick them even higher. I'll build them up to give us lots of different levels. But what do you think?
I love these. I love them. I'm immediately drawn to Relly's one, where you can see through the building. I love that you can see through the glass, through another window. That's just such a nice thing. And
that's quite cool, isn't it?
In Planet Coaster, it's not easy to do, because if you're making a building hollow or you're committing to an interior, either way, it's a whole different thing to just saying, no, the windows are going to be 2D, you can't see through them. I love the color scheme. I always, my favorite colors are black and white. I would always build in black and white, but it would make for a very boring park overall. But yeah, I like monotone colors, so yeah, big fan. Very clean, again, very neat, very tidy.
They're lovely, and he's even got himself some little gardens on the corners as well. It's really quite nice. It's a lovely build. Park Noir idea. The next building we got is Dis the Destroyer, and
it's a very Dis build, I will say.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Dis has got a style, and this is very Dis. Yeah, this is really nice, really cute. I love the window. What do you call them? The window flower basket things.
Yeah, they're very, very nice. Again, you got It's quite uniform all the way up. It's really, really good. And I like this little alcove where the door is in the middle.
Yes, I think saying again, like, just not making it square, making those little indents just make all the difference.
So Shami made a building, and it was lovely, and I put it straight in, and then she said, "Do you want another one?" I was like, "Go on then." And then she said, "Do you want another one?" in the end, I think she's made about 3 buildings for me. She said, "I'll keep building. I'll just keep building." I've only managed to fit 2 in at the moment. But yeah, so these 2 buildings here are Shami's. All right, this was the first one we got, and I felt Shami sent me a picture saying, "I'm going to build this building." So she was using a reference pic, which I don't know if the other 4 had done yet, but she was using a reference pic, actually building a building from an Italian street. Let me get around this one. And she put a lovely little coffee shop in it, and it started, suddenly this little village comes to life, because we've got a pharmacy, we got a gelato, nice little ice cream parlour, and I love it. This is how you get up into the building with all the little intercoms and stuff.
Yeah, these are lovely. It's as you said, as soon as you add like shops to it, it just brings it to life.
Oh yeah, it definitely added a greater depth to this area straight away with these shops, and the fact that every shop looks different on the bottom. You don't have that cohesion across the bottom floor, but you do on the upper floors, and that's exactly how it is in real life. Like in a lot of the apartment buildings they build, you've got different fascias on the front of the shops. But yeah, talk away, Moomin, because otherwise I'm just going to keep talking about the same buildings, and you're very polite and you just sit there quietly.
No, I do, because I agree with everything you're saying, and I mean, yeah, like realism. I don't even need to get started. Like that's basically when I build something, I'm like, yeah, building. When can I get to the realism?
Yeah,
it's like, when can I put a vent on the wall? So no, I love all that stuff. The roof on this one you're looking at now is.
Let's go up to the top. Look at the balconies with the little lanterns as well. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. I love it. It really is a lovely build.
Details. Yeah, really nice.
So she finished that one, and then like a day later she said, "I've made another one, by the way. I've just got in a good mood and I'm building." So then we got this next apartment building to it as well, which again we've got lovely detailing on the roof. We've got this wonderful stairwell down the side of the building, again just bringing in that realism. This one is more apartmenty, less going on the bottom floor, which is nice.
I was actually, when the first time we came over to these, the fire escapes was the first thing I looked at. Like, they're very well put together, very realistic looking. And again, it's realism, so that's where my eye is always going to be drawn. Yes, lovely. I love that sweet shop at the bottom.
It's cute, isn't it? Really, really cute.
And the thing that stands out with this one, again, is it would have been so easy just to put the roof going across the whole thing, but adding that little bit of flat roof next to it just changes the shape of the build, and then you've got that lovely, the door. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
I think they're called dormers, aren't they? Or is that just windows?
That's the one. I think so, yeah. A dormer door.
A dormer door.
Yeah, it's some interesting shapes to look at, and it's not just a rectangular build with a cone on top.
No, it's brilliant. It's fantastic. Right, so the next building here, which is really beautiful. I love the rooftop garden. Bit of a gardener, this builder. The god mod himself, Mike of Pain, built. Now, Mike of Pain doesn't build that often in Planco.
I was just going to say, he's never built me anything.
No, I think he's only ever built like one thing before.
I didn't even know he had the game, to be honest.
He's got the first, I think he built in the first Good Nice Showcase. He bought a little shop and skinned it. It was lovely. And I think this was his second ever build. I think he's got a grand scheme of about 20 hours in this game. So,
I mean, this is just showing off, really, isn't it? Like, in the grand scheme of things, this is for his second build.
Yeah, for a second
absolutely
build.
Outrageous.
You can tell
How dare
he watches a lot of Planko streamers, obviously, because he's obviously learned a lot. So to come out with something like this.
But I feel like Mike is just one of those people where he's just good at everything and he's just really annoying.
Yeah, he's an arse, isn't it?
Yeah, we should just move on, really. just chuck it in the bin. Let's
right,
move
on. No, I can't, because I actually think it's a lovely, lovely build. I love the.
I love the.
Go.
I was just say, I love the beam work. It's quite Bavarian, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's got it in. I think they're all separate buildings, so he's used it and then he's been able to move it around, which is quite nice to give us the different. But very focused on a lot of plant work, a lot of foliage. Foliage. But yeah, no, it's very, very nice. Thank you very much, Mike of Pain. Now, this builder, I don't know if anyone can guess who this might be. Yeah, here we go. Look, they're all coming in. Sirius. Yeah, Sirius was the first builder for Winterland, and I asked him to build something natural. Keep him with a natural theme in, so he built a giant factory full of pipes. He ignored me, and then I said, right, I need an apartment building. You've already built, you don't need to build. No, I'm going to build for you, and this is what he's come out with. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
To be fair, my eye was drawn to that immediately. It's just, but how can it not be? Like,
it's absolutely bonkers, but it's brilliant at the same time. He's got such a different way of looking at this game, and I really enjoy watching Sirius build. But yeah, what do you think?
I mean, where to begin? It reminds me of Ready Player One style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very post-apocalyptic. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love the angles. I love the different sections.
I mean, how do you even get into that building? You got to have a leap. You got to have a leap
jump.
of faith off the roof.
Yeah. Got to live life on the edge, quite literally.
It's completely bonkers,
nice.
And but it's wonderful. It's serious. It's serious all over.
It is. And I feel like the piping works. Like like there's logic to where all the pipes go.
Oh yeah, he doesn't just. I mean, his builds generally look like this. They look different. They look almost haphazard, but it's deliberate.
Yeah,
it's very, very deliberate. His building, everything is there for a reason. It makes sense for the building, which again, is just really interesting. Really interesting to watch him build. Bit like you, everything's got a purpose. He's not just sticking a tree in for the hell of it. It's got a purpose. The building I got was this one. Now Panda's a console player. And Panda's not really a console player. In fact, she's not really a Planko player at all. She's barely played the game. And this was one of her first ever attempts at building anything on console. And then she, with the help of Relly, she sent him screenshots, and he has lovingly rebuilt her building for our PC park. So this is Panda's building here.
That's really nice. And I haven't heard of anyone doing that before. It's a really nice idea.
Yeah. I think Relly is just an absolute gent. I mean, he does this kind of thing for people all the time. And building something that somebody else has built just so they can be part of it it's really admirable of him. I think he's a wonderful man. But yeah.
I love these holes in the building. That's really cool.
They're good, aren't they? Very
it's just
different.
Like something that you could never like take that from reference. Like I've never seen that before. So that's just purely imagination, and that's really lovely.
It changes up the building. It makes the building completely different by having those corners missing. I love it. I love it. And you can imagine people the problem is people can't get to it, but you could fill it with little planters and stuff like that. It'd be really pretty. The next one, and actually the last one that we got before the deadline passed, is this little one here, which I didn't actually pave in the end because I thought this looks a bit more natural, and I could imagine it being built on just the ground as opposed to built in like these ones. And this is, I mean, there's a lot of ivy on it. Can anybody tell me who they think this one might be? Dolga. Oh yes, indeed. Dolga. Dolgador, the Dutch king.
The man is obsessed.
Ah, he's obsessed. Look at it. Look at that ivy. It's just everywhere. But it's good. And I love this balcony here. So different, interesting.
It is. The crown motif is intriguing. Like I want to know more about that. Like I've never seen the crown used at all, to be honest. Like
is
it's
he
such a
in
weird
Dolga?
piece.
I'm not sure if Dolga's in tonight. He calls himself the Dutch king, doesn't he? So what we got? We got tulips and a crown. I think you can't mistake it for being anybody else.
Netherlands and the king.
So yeah, this is Dolga's build. Another wonderfully lovely build. It's not quite the 5 stories, but I'll let him off. Well, I suppose we can count it. Maybe it's 5 stories.
Might be a basement. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Well, I know because I put it there. but we'll pretend. Shh.
This is really nice. Really nice angles. I like the roof. Got the indented balcony. Yeah.
It's just a good build, isn't it? I mean, all of these are wonderful builds. But we've got this from Death Fears None. And, I mean, Death Fears None knows what he's doing. He loves his coasters, bless him. And look at this. We've got bunk beds, and then we've got an entire roller coaster around a tree.
I genuinely believe that Ethan cannot build something without there being a coaster involved.
Yeah, he can't, can he? It has to have a coaster
He's
in it.
incapable. No, this is really cool. It's a really unique concept, like making it like the vines of a tree.
Yeah. I love it. And the fact that, again, you can see it's completely see-through, so you can see the whole thing inside. So we do have a wonderful interior. Oh, we've got a bed there that I hadn't seen. What's that made out of? Oh, canvas awnings. That's clever.
Smart, yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Nice little tree house. Yeah, I think even by my standards, where I build with piece count in mind all the time, maybe because of my hardware limitations. But like, yeah, 300 is tough for a build of this size. So
I think all of them have done very, very well.
Incredibly well, yeah.
I think we gave him a little round of applause earlier, but I think a massive round of applause to all of you. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And you're all on the Wall of Fame in Winderland. So this is set off the entrance to the park now. We've got a nice little road bringing us into Bella Buono. We've got our monorail that's going to bring all of the guests into the park, and then you cross over the bridge, and suddenly you have Winderland. What we had to do in the last couple of weeks is we had to do a lot of like backstaging and stuff because the park was getting a bit messy. It wasn't really flowing right. So first thing we did was flatten this. There was a mountain here, and we flattened it and we built a second car park. All right, and we've actually changed the entrance. So now the entrance is over here, and I still not sure I like it, but I went big and bold and brash.
And camp.
Well, yeah.
That's not a negative thing.
Little bit.
No, it's wonderful.
It's an interesting one. I thought I need like a colour scheme, and I need it to be different to everybody else. I needed a statement piece, and I couldn't go with anything that had already been built. So I thought, no one's going to build like a massive pink temple. So that's what I did. So this is our new entranceway.
Ooh, I like that chandelier.
Yeah. Oh,
that's nice.
Shapes. It works, and that's the back end of it. so as you're leaving the park. And then I had to build a bit of a plaza here, a bit of an entrance plaza. And I had to build in a new train station. The train station is actually going to serve a purpose now, because this train station, the next stop is Dissy's Hotel. So for hotel guests, they park up in the car park, they come in the entrance, and they get straight on a train round to their hotel room. So that's that. But I don't want to look too much at my building. I want to look at everybody else's. Oh, that's a shot.
Can I just say, though, before we move on from you, that, like, I've got other things to say anyway, but the lore that you've created for this park is outstanding.
Well,
so
I like stories.
I'm just saying that.
I like stories. I like putting story to stuff, you know. I like having meaning. So that was the first thing I wanted to do with this. I wanted to make a community park, but I didn't want it just to be any community park. I wanted it to have a story. So if you notice, every single episode so far, we've built a new area, we've introduced new voice actors and stuff like, sorry, not voice actors, real people who own yeah, but you know what I mean. It was important to me. I think that from the get-go, it was really, really important that we had a story.
What made me think of it about it was even the fact that you've moved the entrance. It just adds to the lore and the story of the park. Like the old entrance wasn't good enough, it wasn't big enough, so it had to be repurposed. And yeah, it's all part of the story. It's nice.
Yeah, it is a constant evolution. Lore, exactly, ever evolving. So if we come down here, I haven't quite finished all of this. I ran out of time, but look at that. Look at that lamppost, completely on the.
No, it's part of the story window.
We'll sort it out as we come along. So, and we've put little signposts in as for all the entrances. Sirius Cow King Division, Windustries Company, and we've got the incident, Bread's incident. This was the first area of the park. Sirius was given the Insanity ride, he was given the Aeronauts, and he was given a big wheel. He was also given a little coaster and a flat ride.
Good.
So the first ride now that you come across is the Insanity ride. He's called it in construction, which I think is brilliant. It's like a half-built building, and it's almost like the cranes working inside it.
Yeah, I love that.
The second one he's got is this. And
there is the Aeronauts.
Just so everybody knows, if they don't know Sirius, he doesn't use DLC. He doesn't use any TMTK. So this is all base game stuff. The stuff, if you went and bought the game, that you'd get straight off the bat, and he won't use any more than that. So this is the Aeronauts, again, that he's put on the roof, and he's got all this, again, just this added. This is the kind of stuff that I struggle with, just making it, as you were saying earlier, the realism, making it realistic.
How we say gubbins.
Yeah.
Nice gubbins.
So those are your first two flat rides. And then we'll have a look at this dart ride now. I just love the amount of pipe work that he did on this area. So good. He's got a trigger in here.
We do love a trigger.
So the wheel turns off that fire, and then you're back on your way through
smart.
the pipeline. And I love the pipe work here.
He does love his pipes, doesn't he?
It works just really nicely. It's outside, but it feels like an indoor ride almost because of all of the clutter around it.
Track rides are one of the hardest things to create in Planet Coaster, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Even just on in creating them in themselves, let alone theming them and creating the scenery. So yeah, that was really nice. It told its own little story.
Yeah.
You went on a little journey.
It's nice, it's pleasant. So then he had his coaster. We are flying through this, guys, because we've got 5 areas to look at, and I can't keep moving forever, although I want to. The next one is we've got Twisted Windustries. I like the name, it's very cool. And this one, I'll just let everybody know, the entire thing is custom supports. The entire thing is custom supports. And we do need to look at them a little bit in depth in a second, because the support work, it's some of the best custom support work I've seen. And And I love it that it's got a few little kinks in it. It's a bit janky in places. It just adds to this coaster a lot.
Yes.
Whee! I think this
very
has got
nice interaction with everything as well.
Oh yeah,
flying between things, lots of close calls.
he left the coaster till last. He said, I want to build this massive thing, and then I want to put the coaster everywhere, all around it. I think he's done quite well with it. He's achieved that. It's a little bit fast in places, but in general, I think this is a great coaster.
The thing is that, like, I like the people like myself, like, who are openly saying that they're not fussed about going for ultra realism with coasters, or some people just saying that they don't do coasters at all, but they're still willing to just have fun with it and create something that's still an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Anyway.
Oh.
Very, very, very nice.
And we got the Ferris wheel here, which is again all worked into the part nicely. We got he calls it the big cog, and it's done round this whole turbine system, which powers all of the pipes around the entire area. So there you go, that's Sirius's area. So next we're going to have a look quickly at Bread's area. This is called the Incident. Now Bread went fantastical with this area. There is a lot of lore. The idea is these guys have made a big mining tank thing called Prototype 13, and they've taken it to this mountain. They've actually buried it in the side of the mountain. So you can see here treads on the bottom of it. So you can see it's like a proper tank that's just been crashed into the side of the mountain. And in crashing into the side of the mountain, they've unearthed these fantastical creatures. We've got Fire Sting, which is like this giant millipede thing, which is really, really cool. And King Kappa. And we got like fire versus water. King Kappa's come out of the river to battle Fire Sting after Fire Sting has come out of the mountain over there. That was the lore.
I was not
behind
prepared
it.
for this at all.
Well, have you've seen this one though, haven't you?
No.
You haven't seen this one? Okay.
No, I deliberately, after I knew that I wanted to be involved, I was like, I'm going to leave this now so that I can just take it all in. And this was like, I've never seen any of Bread's work, so this is.
He goes big.
Wow.
He goes big. He goes fantastical,
Wow.
and he loves his monsters. So when I when I was talking to him, I was thinking, this guy is going to do something incredible. I don't want to give him a massive area. I just want to give him some coasters, and what he's built are two phenomenal coasters. So we're going to go on Fire Sting first. The first drop on this Moomin, he's just.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Send it. Here we go. Oh, I love it.
That's nice.
All custom inversions on this. 4 inversions, I think, in total. In fact, every coaster that's got inversions at the moment have been all custom, so which is quite nice.
And I'm looking at this as someone who cannot build coasters for anything. Like,
I've seen at least one of your coasters, mate, and I loved it.
Let's just say there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes when I quote unquote build a coaster. So let's just leave it at that. But this is amazing.
Yeah, it's a good coaster. It's a really good coaster, and I'll just show you.
And I mean that station, like, what? Where do you even start with creating?
I don't understand.
Something like that.
Exactly. I couldn't. It's so big and out of the box. It's not something that I could even think in my head. You know, it's just. I'm going to use a stalagmite, and I'm going to make a giant fire-breathing millipede out of it, and I'm going to use 1,800 stalagmites to do it. It's just.
It takes a madman to have that thought process to begin with.
It's just so beyond me. And there's another Fire Sting over there coming out of the ground as well, just in case anybody didn't see it when we first came in. So that's Fire Stink. The second coaster, this is probably this is my favourite out of the two. It's just breathtaking. This is the biggie. This is the big one. 1,500 metres, 92 seconds in duration. So 1,500 metres with only 90 seconds. That tells you something. This drop. Look at it. Oh my god!
Can you actually imagine that in real life? Like, how insane.
And I love the wave turns that he's put in here. That's nice. There's another one in a minute. That's just brilliant.
To answer your question, it involves all of those things and also some things called consultants.
Consultants.
Let's just say consultants, shall we?
So there you go. Two wonderful coasters from Red. So the next area, take you through this mountain, is Rome. And this is our good friend Cockwaddle's area.
Who's that?
Oh yeah, who is that? Who's that bloke? So he started off with his triumphant arch here, and he's done what Cockers does best. He loves his ancient worlds, he loves Rome, and there we go. Look at it. Absolutely fantastic. Did you see Cocker's area when we unleashed it, or have you not seen any of them? Is this like kind of first look for a lot of it?
First look at it, everything in the park. I watched a bit of him building it, but yeah, that was it. I saw him building the Not Colosseum, I think it's referred to as.
Yeah. Cockers had a coaster to build. Cockers doesn't like coasters. So this was a bit
Isn't
of a
it interesting how many of us don't like coasters?
But we all play Planet Coaster.
Yeah, I know. It's literally in the title of the game.
I know. It's mad. I love coasters. That's why I play the game. I'm not very good with all the theming that I see everybody else doing. I'm learning. That was another reason why I wanted to do this park, to be honest, because I wanted to learn from others, pull it apart, say,
it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and that's again why I like your channel, because I watch you build it like piece by piece by piece, which is really, really good. Right, so this is Saturnalia, but this is the Wooden Wild Mouse. Again, he's done a wonderful job with this. I think for a person who doesn't build coasters, it really is quite beautiful. And it works, and it's not janky, you know. It doesn't rip your head off your shoulders like wooden mouse coasters normally do. Spitball for me.
I mean, what's not to say? Like everything that Cockwater does is so meticulous and just incredibly seamless. Like the way that he's integrated the pathing.
Yeah.
For example, like I love that stonework fencing that's joining everything together. The little bits of plaza, the cobblestone there that you can see on the right where the seating is, the way that it's just like, because I say this all the time, but in theme parks things are quite janky. Like they don't flow how you think they would flow until you actually look at it and you go, oh yeah, things are kind of like that. They're not nothing's at like 90 degrees, you know what I mean? Like, and he's captured that very well. Like you've got the different inclines going up and down, paths going on in different directions, different heights of everything, which is something that's really hard to do in Planet Coaster because
levels,
as you know, yeah, like you
because levels give you sight lines, and sight lines are so important.
It's so good when you get it, but when you're having to place rides and paths on uneven ground, it's next to impossible. So you've got to flatten off each area, but then have those different heights and connected to each other, which is incredibly
Terribly
difficult to do, but he's pulled it off, and it's so great when it works.
And I love.
Anyway,
this.
I've said far too many nice things about Cockwater.
I know we've got to move on quick, haven't we? But
that's all I have to say about it.
I do need to. We do need to have a look around this ride. This is his Tiberius Grotto, which is actually a real place apparently. And Tiberius, one of the old leaders of Rome, he built like this really over the top banquet hall inside a cave where they used to do like things. So this is what his idea was behind the rapids, and I think he's pulled it off nicely. But let's have a watch. where you'd make like offerings to the gods and stuff. And what I like is he's really tried to build all the tracking around everything. It's very well contained within this mountain. Follow the track, dude. You can show it off better than the POV. I can't. My camera works shit, really. I couldn't get through this hill. I do love me a great rapids ride. Well, this one is a great rapids ride. He's used the back of the mountain, which I didn't anticipate anyone doing, which is really, really nice. So you come out and you can see Windermere Falls that are just down there. He does do it well, doesn't he? Unfortunately, makes me sick. What I love is this area here. So these falls I built in. That was the first time I ever built a waterfall, by the way. I was quite proud of it. They're the Winder Falls, and he's given us a nice vista on the side of the mountain there, which is really nice. So that's Tiberius Grotto. So yeah, that's Cockwaddle's area, and now we're coming into our final area of the park, which is the newest area of the park that we've unleashed, which is this Biersietstad, which I don't know if I've pronounced that right, which basically means beer time town. And he's done like an Oktoberfest, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a look through. Again, first time seeing this. I did see. Oh, you did see this one.
I did. This was very nice.
So first thing we got this massive strudel that's broken down at the moment, which is a shame.
It just adds to the steam effect, really.
Oh yeah.
It's now a burnt strudel.
That's very good. But yeah, so this is Jazz's area. He had 3 flat rides. He had the drifters, where he built these massive beer tankards, which are amazing. 500 pieces, 400 pieces, 411 pieces. They're not all the same. I'd have just spammed the same. They're three different custom tankards, which is absolutely brilliant. I love the beer taps and the nice little touch with one of them on and pouring bubbles out over everyone. It's just great. It's exactly what you want.
Such a well-integrated ride.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it?
It's always great when you can't see where the ride ends and begins.
Yeah.
It just flows seamlessly with the surroundings.
Works really, really nicely. This is probably my favourite flat ride in the park at the moment. I just think it's just beautiful the way he's built this in, and I love beer, so.
And it just makes sense. It's like people drunkenly like dancing around a table drinking the beer. Like, it tells a story.
So yeah, this was his 3rd flat ride, which he's put on the roof, which again gives us that verticality, and that would make that ride a lot scarier, you know, flying out over the roofs of those buildings with that much of a drop beneath you. And then he's got himself a dart ride here, which is our brewery tour. This is just a lovely little ride. It's so fun.
Everything Jarrow does it's always a bit tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
He's got a knack for it.
he's just so good. So we got yeast, hops, grain, water.
That yeast looks so gross.
It does. It looks awful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then we've got the brewing room, where we've got all the pipe work, distilling the beer.
I love all the copper in here.
More
brass,
bubbles.
Copper.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful work, and that stained glass window up there is lovely too, with a big beer glass in front of it. Maybe a little dark for me, that beer. I'd prefer a blonde.
I do like a blonde.
Do you?
Beer.
Do you? And then we got the tasting room with archers and agents and even a zombie in it. It works. And then we got our final coaster POV, which is this wonderful Woody at the back. Our first Woody, and it's a big one. He had to make 13 airtime counts, I think it was. It was 8, and he smashed it. Yes, he did. The lore here is that it was a church with monks making mead that's been renovated for the park. Ah, I didn't know that because I missed a lot of Jarrow's streams. Tuesdays and Thursdays, unfortunately, I teach choirs when he streams.
I really enjoyed what Jarrett was talking about when he showed us off the transition of the trees and snow.
Yeah, we'll have a look in a second.
A really nice touch. I mean, aside from this amazing coaster that we're currently riding,
it's a quickie. It's a quick one. He's got a lot of speed coming out of this coaster, actually. Surprising. I think it's like got a 50 odd miles an hour, which is quite high for a wooden. And then we've got our sausage mine. Makes perfect sense.
complete sense.
And coming back into the station. So yeah, that's our final coaster of the park. We've got, I think, what is it, 5 coasters now? Only one of them two of them invert. So we're still quite a tame park at the moment. I think we need a big inverting coaster for our next builder, and that's coming up very, very soon. We need to have a look at Dissy's Hotel, because this was a real beautiful piece of work. Again, going back to like the apartments, there's no rides here. So having 10,000 pieces and not building a ride, I would find this the hardest challenge of all. But Dissy just loved it. So we've got this beautiful, the Grand Windermere Resort, which has got rooms in it. Tell us about
amazing.
It's lovely, isn't it? Have a look at it. She just watched, I think it was one of your videos, and she said, I was a little bit inspired. I think it was your entrance to your
Yeah.
Welsh area. And
It
she
is,
said,
yeah.
I was inspired.
That's nice. It's like a modern interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So I love
And
this
this rooftop
sky
bar, I would like to be there right now, to be honest.
I'd be good. Sitting out
Yeah.
there looking across the park
Hmm.
with a nice stein of beer
And what a view.
and some strudel. It's lovely, isn't it? I really when I envisaged this hotel, I desperately wanted those kind of viewpoints, because obviously we've got a builder to come, which you can see over there in the distance, and then you've got the beautiful views around the lake and all the areas around you. It's just lovely, but it's not too high. It's not intrusive, you know.
It does give very Art Deco vibes. It would fit very well on like a Miami seafront.
Yeah. She kept a bit of the beach going on. There you go. Lovely little swimming pool with a nice jacuzzi
That's nice.
and some slides around the back. There you go.
Yeah, I've thought of the idea of doing them, and yeah, no,
I mean,
and that's done so flawlessly as well.
it works. It really works quite nicely. She's got all the supports working and interlocking with these little platforms in them and stuff. It's brilliant. It's lovely. And then we've got our she's got some gift shops. We've got a nice restaurant. I have to look in the restaurant quickly. So we've got the downstairs restaurant, and all of obviously the restaurant and the rooms are hidden behind these walls. But then if you go upstairs, we've got a bit of a party room. Look at that. And you can again look out across the lake.
Oh well, that's nice. What is that dance floor made with?
I think it's TMTK, and it is Mario Kart Rainbow Road pieces.
Okay, that's clever.
Yeah.
No, this is really nice.
So Rainbow Road V3. So it's a big piece. That's just one piece there.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It works really, really well.
I mean, I love this for her attention to detail with things. She sometimes to her detriment, but she commits herself fully to everything that she builds, but it pays off in the end.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. And this was the stipulation. She had to build a entertainment venue, so she built a big outdoor stage. And we've got some more toilets, and we've even got a little smoking shelter there. Another bar. I loved it with this. I think I counted across her hotel there was 60 beer taps. So I'm happy. Or I think it was 50.
I was going to say it sounds like my kind of venue.
Yeah. So yeah, that brings us about to the end. But obviously, when I asked Moomin to get involved in this, I was saying, "Oh, Moomin, can you please come on and showcase a bit of this? And thank you so much for being here today." And he was very obliging. I was surprised. I'm thinking, oh, this big YouTube streamer, but he's come on, and he's gone one step further. The bloke's actually he's built something for us. He's built something for us. It's a little blueprint, just a little gesture. I think, what were you calling it? A bonus, wasn't it?
Just a little bonus.
Just a little bonus. So I'm going to have to show you this now. And it's just lovely. It's such a very textbook Moomin build. And it's just round the corner here. We have...
Quaint, I think is what we call it.
It's what you called it. I don't think it's quaint, mate. You've got a pirate ship, and the amount of theming you've put into just a very standard flat ride is wonderful. So we're going to have a look at it. I've called this, Moomin didn't, we've called this Littlesocks Cove. So just down here, round the corner, we've got this. And what a build. It's stunning. I think it's this is an area of the park that I wasn't really going to use, but because we've got a bit of space now, I'm thinking, could we extend this piratical area? Maybe I could get Moomin to build again. Don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. Got a fair few episodes to go on your Welsh park first, haven't you? But yes. So
have you seen where it crashes through the building?
It doesn't crash through the building. No, I didn't notice that. Oh no, I've seen here. Yeah. Where you've actually crashed the building open.
Yeah,
oh, look at that!
And there's a little bit of treasure in there.
Oh, sick! That's so cool. And some sugar and rum hidden away up in the attic. I love that. Does it actually get close to that then?
Yeah, that's the reason it wasn't going to do that originally, but it would have clipped through the building if I hadn't have done that. So yeah, it gets quite close.
I love it. It's such a
I love
pretty
using
build.
that teal colour.
Yeah. It works really nice on metal surfaces. Doesn't work so good on the wooden surfaces, I've noticed, unless you've got like a nice light wood. Like I tried to make your sign with the teal at the front there, but it didn't come across very well.
Right.
Oh yeah. So it's crashed through this building. I love it. And again, this is what you were talking about, how look, you can't see where the ride starts and ends. I can't.
Yeah.
It's proper good building. Like the actual ride comes all the way out to here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird shape. Yeah.
So the fact that you've hidden it all is just really nicely made it look seamless. I
also had a bit of fun with
Apple, you're off. Thank you very much. Thank you for being. Sorry, I'll be back in a second. Baby. Thank you very much for being in. Thank you for the follow, Appleseed. And I suppose I will be catching you on the flip later. Right, Moomin, Carol.
No, just saying. I had a bit of fun with the building on the right. The windows. I wanted to. I don't like how windows sit on the front, so
No.
I've actually indented the windows, and I used the plaster to allow me to do it, if that makes sense. So I made holes for the windows to go in.
You made
so
holes?
that they could, so that they could sit flush with the wall.
How'd you do that?
If you have a peer around the back, if you go inside, I think you'll be able to see.
So you've just used the 4x2 plaster walls, and then that there must be.
I'm very grave.
Oh wow! Yeah. I didn't notice that. That's brilliant, mate.
I think it just makes a bit of difference because
So you've actually got the indents
windows
on both
don't
sides.
stick out the way that they do in Blanco, so it's nice to just do it.
Yeah, I hate how they just sit on the surface of the building. I mean, like even the old roller coaster Tycoon, you just put a window in, it would make a hole in the wall for you. I was thinking about it the other day. Why is Planet Coaster so difficult with that? It's annoying. So you've done that with all these buildings. God, that's painstaking hard.
I mean, it was a lot of copy and pasting after the first ones were done,
But it looks so seamless. There's no Z fighting or Z fighting.
No, I'm always, I do that with every piece. I can't stand Z fighting. So.
I love that you always go that bit further, hide in the queue line.
Yeah, again, I always try to hide as much of the Planet Coaster default assets as possible, just making it kind of
Bloody ugly, isn't they,
seamless.
to be honest? A lot of them.
They are, and they're just it's what you expect to see. So it's nice when you don't see the thing you think you're going to see.
I love it, mate. This is such a
It's
great.
alright.
No,
it's
it's
alright.
a great
Anyway,
build.
enough of me.
Enough of you. No, we got to give you mad props here, mate. Thank you so much. And mate, I suppose we're coming basically to the end. I don't want to let you go because I don't think I'll ever get a Moomin back in my chat again.
Of course you will. And I want to say thank you for putting together this whole thing. And it's not finished yet, but it's just been wonderful to be a part of and to see, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Well, I can't thank you enough. I know you're a stupidly busy man at the moment with your with everything that's going on in your life, because obviously Planet Coaster's not your life. You work. You've got
I do real things.
Yeah, and the fact that you can the fact that the level that you build to, and the way you present, and everything about your product, as it were, is just phenomenal. And I can't thank you enough for being part of this tonight. Thank you very much for being
very
here.
nice.
Sorry,
But shush.
bigging up Moomin all the
I would
time.
also just like to quickly say a big thanks to Relly, who I know does a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
He's wonderful, man.
But for you and for everyone. We chatted a bit as well about bits and pieces. So yeah, big thanks to Relly as well.
Yeah, massive thanks to Relly. He's just an absolute phenomenal fella. I mean, we're quite lucky with our community, really. There's so many wonderful people. Well, you can tell from this park that was nothing, 10 weeks ago? 11 weeks ago, it was nothing. And look how many people have got involved. Look at what we've got going on, and we've still got at least one more builder to go. And speaking of that, I think it's about time we started rounding up this stream and introducing our last builder. So, Bella Buono is officially no more. We have bought out all of these plots of land, and we've deleted, and we've demolished all of these buildings to give us a nice flat playing field. Unfortunately, being a area of historical of heritage, a heritage site, a world heritage site with the falls and the beautiful lake, some of these buildings have been around for quite a while and they are listed, so we can't delete them. Unfortunately, we have 2 buildings here that can't be deleted, can't be edited. I mean, the builder could build on top of them if they wanted, but unfortunately they're going to be stuck there in the middle of your area. So you can integrate them, you can ignore them, you can do what you want with them, but yeah, they're stuck there. Our next builder, 10,000 pieces max, has a large area, probably the largest out of everyone so far if we think about it. Quite a large area. Alright, you can use the mountains at the back. So, the next builder. Who is it? Here we go. It is only the sexy secretary himself. It's Relly Matep, ladies and gentlemen. Relly Matep You are our next builder. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I've been Winder. This has been Winder TV, and I love you. Laters.